What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are here to talk about episode 9 of Insecure. Alright, we got one more episode to go, and I am low-key excited, but I'm also not, because it's almost over, and God knows when we're gonna have season 5 because of this whole corona thing. Everything might be pushed back, and I am just... y'all. But we're going to talk about this episode. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so right now. Click the bell below so you can be updated on when I post new videos. And follow me on my social media. The links will be below for that as well. Alright, y'all. So last week we had Issa and Lawrence. We had their entire conversation. We got a peek into where everything went wrong, and then at the end you see them making sweet passionate love, and it was so beautiful. Even though I was never a Issa and Lawrence person, I didn't think they belonged together or anything like that. I think that, you know, once they were done, they were done. But this is probably a couple days later, so you see Issa and Lawrence in his living room on the couch. You know, the couch is a staple when it comes to these two. The couch played a very intricate role in their relationship, and they're sitting on the couch in his apartment. And at first I thought was is Issa daydreaming, because you know Issa is good for something like that. But no, you kind of actually see a montage of Issa and Lawrence just being, you know, they kind of fell back into their old routine. They're together, they're on the couch, they're watching TV, they're fucking, they doing all the things that they used to do and look good doing it, okay? So, and side note, I never really thought that Jay Ellis was attractive. I don't know what it is. I don't know, since he got a job, he looks really good in his, I don't know what it is. Jay Ellis looks really good. But anyways, so you see Issa and Lawrence on the couch, and they are just watching TV. No, they actually listen to music, and Issa gets a text from Nathan. Issa is supposed to help Nathan move into his new apartment. So she sees the text, and before she even responds or anything, she goes to tell Lawrence, I was going to call him Jay. She tells Lawrence, you know, she has a friend named Nathan that she used to date, but they no longer date. They're just friends, and she's supposed to help him move this week. Is there a problem with that? And because she wants to be very transparent, the last time in their relationship she wasn't, and then, you know, she was caught doing some sneaky shit. So she wants to be very transparent because they are starting to, I guess, build something now, and she wants to make sure that she don't mess this one up. So Lawrence was like, you know, it's cool, it's fine. And Issa wanted to know, you know, I don't want to mess this up because, you know, I don't know what this is. What are we? And Lawrence basically said, we are whatever you want us to be. Now, something about Lawrence saying that, I don't know what it is, but Lawrence saying that in last episode when she said, you make me happy, and he said, me too. I didn't like that. I don't know if it's just because he's a man and men say stupid shit, don't know the right things to say, but I kind of felt funny about that. I don't know what it is, but he said, you know, he didn't have a problem with it, and he said, you know, we are whatever you want us to be. And she said, do you have anything loose hanging around, like loose vagina or whatever, basically mentioning Condola. And he said him and Condola talked, and they are no longer together, no possibility, nothing. So the whole theory of Condola might be pregnant was probably not right. So my bad, y'all, my bad. So we see Molly. Molly is finally at therapy with Dr. Rhonda, and we've been begging this girl to go to therapy, but at the end of the day, Molly is not ready for it, because Molly does not listen to her therapist whatsoever. So she's sitting with Dr. Rhonda, and Dr. Rhonda is trying to figure out, where's the issue going? What's going on? And all Molly do is blame other people. She blamed Victor, Andrew's brother. She blames Issa. She blames everybody but herself. She does never find a fault within herself. She always has to blame other people. And Dr. Rhonda was basically saying, why don't you kind of confront this with Issa and talk it over with her? And Molly's saying, well, it's Issa's fault. I don't have to do that. It's Issa's fault. Basically, just putting the blame on somebody else, which irritates the hell out of me. But Dr. Rhonda made a good point. She said that you kind of internalize your feelings and then you put the blame on everybody else. You put it on Dro, you put it on Victor, you put it on your dad, you put it on everybody else except where it needs to be you put it on everybody else except where it needs to be directed to, and a lot of it falls on her. But she, of course, Molly's very headstrong to her own detriment, and she just does not listen to anybody. I don't know why she's paying this woman if she's not listening to her. So Dr. Rhonda asked her, you know, you have to realize or just come to terms, is this relationship with Issa serving you? Is it serving you? If it's not, then you probably need to exit this relationship. Alright, so Issa is at home and she wants to talk to somebody. She normally talks to Molly when it comes to matters of the men she's dating, but she can't talk to Molly right now. She calls Kelly. Kelly's unavailable. She goes ahead and calls Amal, her brother. And Amal basically ain't really any form of help. Like, he is... Amal, like, don't pay this girl no mind. She said that her and Lawrence are back together, which prematurely she said that because I don't think they're on the same page yet. But she said they're back together, and Amal said, oh, does he know? I love Amal, shady ass. I love him so much. But conversation with him didn't really help her, and she wanted to talk to her best friend. So she decided to give Molly a call. Molly answered, and Issa basically said, you know, girl, you know, I think we need to sit down and talk. I started seeing Lawrence, and I don't know about this Nathan thing. And then Molly cusses her out because here it is again that Issa is only calling her for her. She's not calling to rectify their issue. She's calling to talk about her problems. Then we see that Issa that was all a dream. That was all in her mind. She was just thinking that was how the conversation was going to go. And she decided to not do it that way. But she did call Molly and ask Molly to meet her for brunch. So at the diner they go to so they can actually talk about whatever issues they're having. Alright, so Molly and Issa actually meet up for brunch. Issa was actually very nervous because Issa is that type of person. She understands her faults and she acknowledges her faults and she wants to make things right, but she just wants Molly to meet her halfway. Molly is the type of person, she don't acknowledge any fault. She don't do nothing wrong, and she wants everybody to kiss her fucking ass. So they meet up for brunch. Issa's nervous. Molly seems kind of like she don't even want to be there, but Issa is really trying to make small talk, asking her how she's doing. Saw her post about her trip to Mexico. How was that? Yada yada, asking her about her family, and they actually just started just genuinely talking to the point where they started drinking, they started kicking it, and it was just like they were laughing and, you know, just like normal friendship again. So when it was over, they were walking out and Issa said, you know, she's going to be helping Nathan move into his apartment, so she might end up seeing Molly this weekend. And it was still kind of awkward. Molly's awkward with her, Issa's awkward, and they hug, and then they never really talked about the issues, the block party, the shit before the block party. They never spoke about any of it. So to me, it was like this whole brunch was a waste of time. So Molly goes over to Andrew and she walks in and she said that she met up with Issa. They had brunch. They had a, you know, seemingly good time, but she's still pissed because they never really addressed anything. Andrew asked her, you know, did you kind of make an effort to discuss it? Issa did call you to sit down and talk. Did you even kind of engage the conversation? She said no, because that is Issa's job. She's supposed to do it because she's the one that messed up. Molly is still on this train like Issa is this bad person that completely fucked up her life and she will never forgive her, and she wants Issa to bow down to her. And I'm thinking, like, what did Issa do to this girl? To me, I feel like Molly feels Issa don't like, Molly doesn't like the person Issa is involved into. Issa is really getting her shit together as far as just finding her stamp in this world, her niche. Issa is about community involvement, community service. She has been doing it since We Got Y'all. Like, this is not anything new. She is focused on the black community and making things just a little bit better in her community. That is who Issa is. She's always been that person. Issa's always kept a job. Even when she left We Got Y'all, Issa was doing Lyft. She was doing the property manager thing. Issa has always kept a job. May not be a conventional 9 to 5 like Molly, but for some odd reason, Molly feels like because she's because she's a lawyer, whatever Issa does is beneath her. And she treats her as such. Okay? And I don't want Team Molly coming in my mentions with a bunch of fuck shit. Okay? I don't need to deal with that. This is my observation. I feel like Molly has always felt like Issa was beneath her. Once Issa started doing the Block Party, getting that together, she got help from Condola, who is a successful professional as well. Molly started feeling like she was put on the back burner, and here comes Issa going up and up and up with the help of this professional woman, and there was no space for Molly. She didn't like that. That's my personal opinion. So, Andrew mentioned that his brother wanted to kind of make a peace offering and invited them to a Clippers game? A basketball game. And Molly was saying, I don't want to go. And Andrew was like, my brother's trying. He wants to basically apologize for whatever happened in Mexico. And because Molly is so dead set on, wanting friction. She's a drama queen. She wants friction all this time. She's so dead set on having this friction. She doesn't realize that her boyfriend wants her to just be civil to his family member. At the end of the day, that's his brother. And they seem really close. Every time Andrew is on the phone with him, they talk in their native Chinese accent. And every time Molly comes in the room, he speaks English and then he hangs up the phone. I think he tiptoes around Molly's feelings so much that he is kind of separating himself from his who he is as a person, as a sibling, just to cater to this woman. And I think that there's going to come a time that Andrew is going to be over it. So Molly decided not to go to the basketball game. And you could tell Andrew was really crushed. He was very upset by that. But he didn't show it because he internalizes as well. He internalizes his feelings. And he does not want to stir anything up with Molly. So he just kept it to himself. Alright, so we see Issa and her assistant Sequoia. Anyway, I like that girl. But anyways, they're coming out of this bike shop, and Issa is really trying to work on her next event. Now, we don't know what that event is. She has not told us, but Issa is working on getting her sponsors together, and Issa is really just doing her damn thing, and I'm very proud of Issa. From first season Issa to now, Issa is really finding who she is, and she is actually stepping up and being an adult, and I really appreciate that about Issa. I appreciate the growth. I see Issa growing a lot, but I just don't see that from Molly. So Issa gets in the car and she calls, I think Lawrence called her or she called him, and basically it seems like he's in San Francisco doing his interview. She asked him how the interview went, and he said that it went really good. Now, I think Lawrence got the job. He just didn't tell her at that moment because he probably wants to tell her in person. I think he's going to try to get her to move with him, but I don't think she's going to do so. But whatever. But she told Lawrence that, her and Molly met up, and basically, they didn't really talk about the issues, but they were laughing and joking, so she thinks that everything is fine. After a while, she just gives Molly a little bit of space, and then after a while, things come back to normal. That seems to always have been the dynamic between Issa and Molly, that, one person gets upset, she gives her a little space, and then they cool again, not really addressing any issues. So once they don't address it, everything keeps boiling up and building up and building up and building up until it explodes. And I think this is the part where it explodes. But Issa is thinking that, I can just do the same thing I did before and we're going to be back on track. But Molly is on some other shit like, no, I can't do this. And Molly has valid points as far as, you know, things have been building up, but Molly is not doing the work as well to rectify the issue. I think Issa is doing what she can because, I mean, this is Issa and Molly knows Issa. She knows that this is the person that she has to kind of work with in order to come to the position that they need to come to, but Molly is so dead set of she's not doing anything because everything is Issa's fault, and that is where the issue lies. So, okay. Alright, so Issa goes over to Nathan's to help him move into his apartment. And Issa is nervous because she doesn't really know how to greet him. She doesn't want to seem overly, like, sexual, I guess, towards him. She doesn't want to hug him. She's nervous about even mentioning Lawrence situation. So she goes to his apartment, awkward as hell, and Issa is really trying not to be too close to Nathan. She is trying to, like, dodge him and all that stuff. And I think he tried to come over and kind of get close to her because Nathan really likes Issa. We all know that. I think Nathan is so far. Kendrick Sampson is so far. And I love Issa and Nathan together. That's the problem that I'm having. Issa and Nathan together, they work. Issa and Lawrence, they also work. But one is a past and one is a present sort of thing. But both of them kind of... there was some fuck shit with both of them. So it's kind of hard. But he's trying to get close to her. And Issa, you know, finally told him, like, my ex and I are back together, and, you know, I really don't want to mess this up, and, you know, I view you as a friend. And Nathan really got into his feelings because he did the same shit that typical niggas do when they get into their feelings. They start kind of downplaying stuff and kind of trying to make you feel bad because you kind of hurt their feelings. And he was saying that, you know, he hoped that he's saying that he hoped that Lawrence is, you know, he do better, and, you know, that's a nigga you cheated with, you going back with him. Start kind of saying shit under his breath. And Issa was like, well, at least he communicates, not ghost me like you did. And this is when Nathan admits that he has mental issues. He said that he was feeling depressed and he just, I don't know, things was going on with him and he couldn't understand it. When he went back to Houston, he was diagnosed with bipolarism. And I told y'all from whenever season 3 was, he has mental issues. But y'all don't study me. Y'all don't listen to me. But yeah, he said that he had mental issues and he just needed to deal with it on his own. And he just was having a hard time coping with it. But he had to go and rectify situations with people and things, and I guess get on the medication that he needs. And it was kind of hard to tell that to her, especially with her being somebody that he just met. But he's saying that, you know, he values her in his life and he really doesn't want her to leave his life. Just even if it's on some friend shit, he values her as somebody important in his life. And Issa was kind of shocked that this was going on, but she understood that, you know, that was his process, that he had to deal with it. He was probably going through the stages of depression and, you know, then finding out that was the issue. And that could have explained the issue in the car as well. When they Issa picked him up for the first time and him and Big Boy got into the fight, that could explain that too. So Molly is coming into Andrew's place. She has some food. They have some takeout. They're about to eat. And Molly said that she brought a specific type of food because the food that Andrew wanted, she didn't want it. So she didn't bring it. But Andrew said, you know, that was what I wanted to eat and I thought that's what we're going to eat. This is another issue. Molly feels like she can dictate what other people do. She never called him, never said, you know what, I don't even really want to eat this. Let's eat something else. She never said that. She just took it upon herself to get whatever she wanted, not considering him. Molly's selfish. And that is a pattern that we see with Molly, with her friendships, relationships, her family life. Molly's a selfish person, my opinion. So Andrew and you can see on his face that he was not too pleased about it, but again, Andrew internalizes. He just bit his tongue and didn't say shit. So then he said, you know, my brother was really looking forward for you to coming to the game, but you didn't come, and it was kind of awkward because it was like a I guess, a double date type of thing. And Issa said, Molly said, I didn't want to go, and I wasn't going. Basically, dead set on just not compromising, not anything. At the end of the day, this is this boy's brother, okay? And I don't know about anybody else, okay? If my brother was wrong and he tries to apologize, I would be happy when my brother's trying to apologize. If you're the type of person that said, fuck your brother, I don't want him nothing to do with him, never see him again, blah, 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 I can't really be with you. Because at the end of the day, my brother comes before you. Okay? You just somebody I'm dating. My brother comes first. My brother acknowledged that what his wrong was. And if you can't even be open enough to, listen to somebody that you barely even know, to me, that's a problem. And you can see that Andrew is not really he's not happy in this relationship. He's not. And it is going to come to a head. So next thing you know, Issa and Nathan come into the house, and they didn't expect Andrew and Molly to be there. They actually got there a little too early. But they were coming for the rest of his stuff. And Andrew said, we got enough food. You guys stay for dinner. Molly, of course, was uncomfortable with that. But she went ahead with it because it's Andrew's house. I mean, what the hell can she say in this man's house? So they stayed, they eat. They started drinking wine, talking, laughing. When the liquor started flowing, people get a little loose. So everything seemed good. Everything seemed on the up and up. And they started, Molly and Issa started talking about Issa's first apartment and just making jokes. And it seemed like everything was kind of back on track. So Issa said when they used to do their wind downs, they used to play this game called Celebrity Height. And, you call out a celebrity name and you guess their height. If you're wrong, you drink. So, they were down to play it, but Molly kind of had this apprehensive look on her face, and Issa caught it, and Issa said, well, if you guys are, wanting to go to bed, that's fine, we don't have to play. And Molly was like, no, let's go ahead and play, and they started playing the game, and then they ran out of wine. So Andrew got up and went to get another bottle. He turned around. Issa and Nathan didn't see it. He turned around and looked at Molly and kind of winked because he saw that they were having fun. And they started talking, and Molly picked up her phone, sent a text, and Issa's phone beeped. And it said, see, I'm trying with her. And Issa looked at the phone like, what? And then she looked at Molly, and then she texted back, and she said, I think you texted the wrong person. And once Molly saw that, Molly was like, oh my God. And Issa got up and said, yo, I'm about to leave. I'm about to go. So Nathan and Andrew was like, wait, what happened? Issa got outside and Molly ran out to talk to her. And, Issa was like, you really gonna text me on some, you charity shit? Like, for real? And Molly was like, we never even talked about our issues. And here we are laughing and joking like nothing happened. And Issa said, I reached out to you to try to talk, but you seemed like you didn't want to talk about the shit. So I didn't say anything. But, I just want us to get back to where we were. And Molly said, you know what? I can't deal with something that doesn't serve me. And I think that we are on two different planes. And I don't think that we need to even basically be friends anymore. And it was so hurtful when you looked at Issa, because Issa was trying not to cry because that's her best friend. Regardless of whatever happened between them, Issa has always tried to make sure that their friendship stayed intact. Even though they fell out as friends do, they argue, whatever the case, Issa has always been the one to try to blend them back together. And once Molly said that, it was like, wow, are you serious? And all Issa said was, okay. And Molly had the nerve to say, oh, real okay? She was shocked that Issa didn't fight for her or something. Molly gets on my last nerve. So that's all Issa could say is okay. And Issa got into her lift and left. And that was the end of the episode, directed by Kerry Washington. Kerry Washington did a great job. I thought it was a good episode. I don't think that Molly and Andrew are going to last. Matter of fact, previews for next episode, Molly and Andrew they start arguing. I think Andrew is going to end up breaking up with her, and it's going to get to the point where Molly realizes that she has nobody else. She has no best friend. She has no boyfriend. She has nothing. And one episode left, and I think they're going to kind of discuss the thing with that's going on with Tiffany, which I kind of feel like they could have talked about that from before. To wait till the end of the episode, which the episodes are so damn short. It's like in a blink of an eye it's over. And the fact that they kind of glossed over Nathan admitting that he's bipolar, I think they could have kind of listened and delved into that a little bit more. But I do appreciate that they're creating the space for Black men to discuss mental issues on TV, because you really don't see that. You really don't see that. Love the episode. I think that is going to come down, and I said this before, I think Lawrence is going to get that job in San Francisco, and he's going to want Issa to come. But because of Issa's newfound career, she will choose to let Lawrence go. I think that's what's going to happen. Nathan is basically going to profess his love to Issa. I don't think she's going to choose Nathan. I don't think she's going to choose any of them. Like, I love her and Nathan, but I love her and Lawrence now. So I don't think she's going to choose any of them. I think she's going to choose herself. And she is going to focus on herself and her career. I don't know. I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know. Let me know how you felt about this episode. Are you still Team Molly after this, or are you not? You know, let me know how you felt about this episode. Do not forget to like this video. So we're going to be here for next episode. I'm so mad that I did not start reviewing this until like episode 5. No. When did I start reviewing it? Whenever, in the middle of the season. I'm mad that I started reviewing it late, but let me know what you thought about this episode. Are you excited for the final episode? What do you think is going to happen at the end? Let me know down below, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.